Welcome to TMICTV. Today we're diving into a topic that is as controversial as it is captivating. We've all heard the saying, history is written by the victor. But what if I told you the history that we know might be more fiction than fact? That's right. In these videos, we're going to peel back the layer of time to explore the possibilities that history is a lie. If I can get you guys to hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe, it'll mean the world to me. Now let's dive into this rabbit hole.
Oh my days. When you think you've seen it all, you ain't seen nothing yet. This is Alfred Isaac Middleton, and he was a British explorer who went to the furthest parts of the globe in search of new discoveries. He went to uncharted regions in the Southeast Asia, African and Amazon rainforest, and you ain't gonna believe what he found. These look like creatures from another world. Is that a human? Or is that Bigfoot? Is that a building? Or a spaceship? Are they elves? No, they're definitely not human. Unfortunately, most of his journals and scientific writings were lost when Middleton and his team went missing during an expedition in 1901. Oh my diddy. So I guess there are some places on Earth that humans still don't know about.
Let this first picture put it into perspective. The mud flood is what appears to be a realm-wide cataclysmic event, a flood of such that left behind several meters of dirt, burying buildings and structures of the time. But the intriguing part of the mud flood isn't the burial of the physical structures, but how it buried so much of our true history. And this was a deliberate fact by the controllers that run this realm today. And if you want to find out more about the mud flood, just follow this channel or research the mud flood and follow Tartaria. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
Let's look at the year. How many months are there in a year? 12, exactly. How many weeks are there in a year? 52, good. However, 12 months, well, 12 times 4 is 48. And 52 minus 4 is 48. Doesn't take a genius to work out we've got 4 extra weeks. And what do 4 weeks make? A month. There are actually 13 months in a year. We are being paid for 12 months' work, and we are doing 13 months'
Do me a
work.
favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
This is why I've said the dates that they are giving us are incorrect. We used to have 13 months, 28 days, and 1 day of rest, even in the Bible. So look, we have 13 lunar cycles of 28 days, 13 zodiac signs. Every turtle shell you'll find, 13 sections in the middle, and 28 notches along the natural cycles of our realm. Listen to David Strait explain it more.
Our calendar is not quite right. We're supposed to have 13 months of 28 days, with one day, the day of resurrection, Easter, as a neutral day. That's our 365 days. We've actually got 13 constellations, not 12. This same calendar is very close to the Mayan calendar, but it's also very close to several ancient Sanskrit calendars. What does sept mean? 7. I thought that was the 9th month. What does oct mean? What does nov mean? What does dec mean? It's supposed to be the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th month. Jan is 11. Feb is 12. March is 13. April is our first month. Babies are born in the spring, the 1st of April, Easter. This is the start of our new year. This is the start of spring when the flowers start coming up, the grass starts coming up, the trees start leafing out, the babies are born. That's the first day. Our neutral day, day 1. The day we rest and celebrate the resurrection, the new beginning, the beginning of Christ. April is month 1. And then we lost a month in there. Where is it?
All right. I'm going to fuck y'all up with some shit on this one. All right. This is the Urbano Monte map from 1587. Excuse me. North Pole. No ice. No ice around any of these areas, okay? There's North America, South America, Africa, India, Russia, China. Okay, so very similar to this map. North America, South America, Africa, India, China, Russia, okay? Only thing different, Australia. There is no Australia here because it hasn't been discovered yet. This is 1587. Australia wasn't discovered until 1606. So that's why that's not there. But my main question is, if this is a globe flattened out and this is on the bottom, right? What the fuck is this? There's no ice on it. And guess what? Antarctica hadn't been discovered yet. Antarctica was discovered in 1820. And if you look, well, look, there's an alligator. There's a camel. Warm weather animals. So, you want to explain to me, first thing, what the hell is this? All this land. And second thing, what froze them? What happened between 1587 and 1892 where those areas got frozen?
You're telling me that Germany isn't where we think it is?
Nothing's where you think it is.
Where is it?
I'm glad you asked. The Peters projection.
It has fidelity of axis.
Fidelity of position.
East-west lines are parallel and intersect north-south axes at right angles.
What the hell is that?
It's where you've been living this whole time. Should we continue? You're probably wondering what all of this has to do with social equality.
No, I'm wondering where France really is.
When Mercator maps exaggerate the importance of Western civilization, when the top of the map is given to the Northern Hemisphere, and the bottom is given to the Southern, then people will tend to adopt top and bottom attitudes.
But wait, where else could you put the Northern Hemisphere but on the top?
On the bottom.
How?
Like this.
Yeah, but you can't do that.
Why not?
Because it's freaking me out.
Hyperborea, Isaac Newton's experiment, the Northern Lights, flat Earth, explained, thoroughly explained. The more I study, the more I sun gaze, the more I am seeing exactly what the hell's going on in this place. And I know exactly what the fuck's going on in this place. All right? Off the villa of Norway sits a solitary candle in the center of it all, David Bowie. He tells you that he's a black star, because underneath here, creating polarity between the two suns, is a black sun that sits underneath the northern lights. With these two things going on, without this sitting in the perpetual twilight and this sun in perpetual motion, there is no astral jet shooting out. That creates a conflection between these two planes of existence. Now, the stars and the sun is all part of what they call the holographic universe, because these stars are being projected down from the celestial waters and the chain of command of the crown, which sits up the most high above us. And below, as they tell you, if you look at the map of Puerto Rico, you'll see that there is a dark black kingdom under here, which is the kingdom of the black sun. It's not hell. Hell is up throughout the Polaris out that way somewhere. And you can get cast down from the top of the crown down to hell, which is outside of this realm. There's no hell in here. There's hell on earth because the motherfuckers that came into this motherfucker via the Polaris were nothing but a bunch of assholes, and they fucking enslaved everybody down here because they were not allowed to stay out there. So they come down here bringing their trouble down here. And if you understand the hex and the different signs that you see of your surroundings, you'll see that they went down here, dumbed everybody down, came out, dumbed everybody down out here too. So as above, as so below. There's a bunch of assholes running around. All right, so let's take a look. This holographic sun that's also alive is being projected, and hitting the firmament on its butt shows the face, because the whole light is just conscious. So if you could just see the light in its mass and its source, it would just be this. But this extrudes and exudes a little bit of this everywhere for everyone to have a little bit of that glory. It's absolutely astonishing. In the center here, you'll see on my flat earth, well, it's just earth, it's terra firma. But in the center, you will see a giant ice cap, and they want you to believe that it's froze over and there's nothing that nobody can do and that nobody should ever go there. That is an illusion. That's bullshit. I made that based off of the original flat earth map that I saw, that I thought was the answer, but this is actually tropical all around here. Now, the cold fronts and everything they do is something that they're doing, manipulating it. So once you get across near Greenway, Norway, and you get near the edge of the north part of Canada and all that, it gets super cold. Getting Russia, it's fucking freezing, right? That's them manipulating the weather, because otherwise, if you could just go there, you'd be like, wait a minute, it's getting hotter. The Aurora Borealis spews out, and it is hot as fuck. It is a tropical fucking paradise over there. And that is also known as Hyperborea. These 4 islands come around, or to be considered the pie. And this is the giant tree stump, which is Rupus nigra.
In the heliocentric model of the cosmos, the moon revolves around the Earth 13 times per year, traveling at 2,288 miles per hour, while the Earth revolves around the Sun once per year, traveling at 67,000 miles per hour. The following model and animation illustrate how this is supposed to occur. As you can see, since the moon is revolving around the Earth, which itself is revolving around the Sun, in order to maintain its regular orbit, the moon would have to be constantly and drastically changing its speed in ways completely unaccounted for by the model. In the outer part of its orbit, the moon would have to speed up 67,000 miles per hour, in addition to its regular speed of 2,288 miles per hour. experienced.
The Masonic compass is a compass and a square. A compass for curves, which is the heavens, the dome. Square for flat planes, which is the earth, which then generates the Masonic Royal Arch symbol. It also represents the earth, the sun, the moon, the black sun, and Polaris. These are the symbols for the elements. The earth element is the sun, the moon, the black sun, and the flat plane. The sun rotates inwards and then outwards to create the summer and winter seasons. Tropic of Capricorn, the equator, and the Tropic of Cancer. The sun spirals inward to create a small rotation, which is summer for the northern hemisphere, then spirals outward to create the winter for the northern hemisphere, and repeats this process. The constellations are fixed and they rotate around us, creating a giant clock. The sun tells the time of day, the moon tells the month, and the stars tell the year. The sun and the moon rotate around the magnetic North Pole. This is the plane of inertia planet Earth, and the northern lights come from the center. The sun and the moon represent the principle of creation, male and female, the sun being electric male, the moon being female, which is magnetic. They know this knowledge, but you don't. They want you stupid and dumb and not knowing where you are, but it's okay. I generated this book so you can find out the truth and so you can feel a sense of well-being instead of being confused.
Did you know that the English language was purposefully manipulated in order to keep us in a low vibration and disconnected from the meanings of the words that we're speaking? Words are spells. That's why we learn spelling in school. Every sound that we speak has an energetic meaning and footprint that ripples out into the ether in the form of sound energy, creating the very fabric of reality as we know it. Now let's look at some examples. You have to be in a very weak days in order to make it through the weekdays. Notice the double meaning of week and days. Same sounds, different spelling. The same goes for the word weekend. It sounds very similar, almost identical to the word weekend. So when you say during the weekdays, you're casting a spell of being in a weak days. By the time you make it to the weekend, you're so weakened by working a job that does not serve your soul. Job stands for just over broke. And every morning, you are mourning the loss of your time and energy.
Be careful what you say.
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know.
They're gonna know.
How would they know?
The moon map revealed. The final chapter of my moon map series. You don't want to miss this. It will all make sense into you.
Area. As a north magnetic pole circumvents a central magnetic circle, the toroidal magnetic field moves with it. The sun and moon are bound in their revolution by our magnetic north pole. And because of this, they move within our magnetic toroidal field only. This is why the magnetic North Pole will always be the center of our known world. As I said before, the first image of the landmass presented in the moon's face is likely akin to an X-ray image, and has not captured any water mass. And because of this, it has only recorded the areas of our realm with high density, such as the land. In the same way an X-ray image captures a part of our body with a high density, like the bone, And I came to the great river, and to the great darkness, and went to the place where no flesh walks. I saw the mountains of the darkness of winter. This is your ice wall, and it's not a constant, fixed wall. It is continually melting and refreezing with the revolution of the pole over the course of a great year and each astronomical age. Do you now understand why they are terrified of the ice melting, of our Earth supposedly heating up, and why this demonic joke of a man wants to dim the sun? They are using natural climate change due to the rotation of the magnetic pole to justify a whole host of useless measures and money laundering. They are terrified because they are on the verge of losing all control of the narrative. We must save the precious Antarctica from melting, the last unspoiled Earth. But as you can see, there is no land mass for us to call Antarctica. It is a complete lie. When they refer to Antarctica, there is only the Antarctic Circle, and a lot of the footage at the so-called Antarctica could have been taken at any location around this circle. As you can also see, the land masses of South America, New Zealand, and Australia all fall within close proximity to the outer edge of the greater world map, and would therefore be within close proximity to the foundations of the firmament itself. This is most likely the reason there is heavy military presence in these regions. The changing climate, the melting of the Antarctic Circle, is as natural as day and night. It is a macro process of the larger clock we live with. We have already discussed how the constellations that the sun is influenced equinox and solstice form a cross on the zodiac wheel when signaling the age and tropic vegetation. Or look closer at the Prague clock again. The central dial of the clock is placed within the center of our magnetic field, and the sun and moon move within the field. Our magnetic field is off center from the overall greater realm. It isn't an even cross, but a true cross, or what is now referred to as a Latin cross or crucifix. We live within the cross field of the cross. And in case you hadn't noticed, our magnetic field pocket within the greater realm also forms a crescent moon. Not the type of crescent moon associated with the alchemical mercury and silver, but this kind of crescent. The same symbol that the controllers appropriated and redesignated to represent nobility. The cross and crescent are natural expressions inherent in the workings of the timelines we live within. They are natural expressions of God's clock. And we got it wrong. Polaris is not situated 90 degrees above our north magnetic pole, in the region we call the Arctic, home to Greenland and Iceland. Polaris rests above the vortex at the center of the greater realm. And this is where the distinction between geographic cardinal directions and magnetic directions needs to be emphasized. When we travel across our known world, or the land within our toroidal magnetic field, we use a magnetic compass, and the magnetic pole is in the center. That's why when we travel from west to east, we go in a circle, and when we travel north, we go towards the center, and when traveling south, we move directly away from the center. However, there also exist geographic marking points. And what do the scriptures have to say about it? It's right there in Enoch's reference to the four quarters of the world. Our magnetic field, according to Enoch, lies in the geographic north of the greater realm. And the first quarter is called the east because it is the first, and the second, the south, Most High will descend there, and the west quarter is named the diminished, and the fourth quarter, named the north, is divided into 3 parts. First of them is for the dwelling of men. The second contains seas of water, the abysses, forests, rivers, and darkness and clouds. And the third part, the garden of righteousness. The water is in the center of the realm. What is more appropriately termed the north. The X-ray image of the land on the moon map does not display this vortex, but, as discussed, it is present in the second image of the firmament. At the crown of the firmament, we see it reflected, the name on the wall. It could be that the garden of righteousness that Enoch refers to, and what is also known as Hyperborea, is located right where Sturgis is positive. But this land is not the true north or central vortex. That can only exist in the center. And as stated before, there is some curvilinear distortion present in the composite image on the moon's plate. I have used my little colorful map here strictly for illustrative purposes. I am not a map maker, but I did attempt to smooth some of this distortion out. Let's hope Sturgis tackles the distortion. And in both my quick attempt and the actual moon map, we do see a body of land right in the center. Right here. Perhaps this is the garden of righteousness.
Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and follow at Mike Priest ARR for more content like this.
Thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. I hope it sparked your mind to want to look and do a little further research. Don't believe anything you see in these videos. If you'd like to help the channel, here's the Cash App. You can donate. I'll see you next time.